and put it to work, and you'll see the benefit from it.
Okay, no problem.
So I just want to let you know too, we are live coming to you from Fanbase, right? And onboarding BU without limits is actually retention on Fanbase. And what does that look like? We are on YouTube, we are on X actually, and we are on I believe it showed me that we were on Meta. So
Okay.
we do this, and I like to get like a little introductory for the newest user, which is General. Is that how I say your name, General?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, welcome to Fanbase, and we have some people in the audience. We have Chairman, we have Miss Judy, and we have Sack Black. And by the way, Sack Black is having a dope. What is it? Getting
Okay, tonight.
Yes, that's what it is. I done had so much stuff going on. Yes, he's having a barbecue karaoke tonight. So I hope everyone can join in, even if you don't want to come up and sing. All singers are welcome, even the people that, can't sing. They still can try. It'll be fun, I think.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, only on Fanbase. So bring your friends, bring everybody, whoever you know. Let's at least try to bring it tonight, just so that we can enjoy some things on Fanbase. This is what retention looks like, y'all. And so, General, you found out about Fanbase through Silver Fox. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what's up. Now you see this. Shout out to Silver for bringing somebody. This is what it looks like, you guys. Bring people to Fanbase. Don't be scared. We on here. We got some kind of credibility, right?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
we're on here. We're doing it. So that's what Fanbase is looking for. They're looking for people that are going to stick around. You know what I mean? That are going to build a community. It's really hard to build a community when people keep leaving,
Right.
right? So that's where we're at. And hey, Miss Judy, welcome. Welcome to the onboarding.
Hey, Miss
Well, hi.
Judy.
All right. Hi, everyone. Love you
Hello, Miss
guys.
Judy. How you doing?
Doing
Love you.
fine.
Yes. So how do you feel about it? What's your feedback, Miss Judy, on this
That's
retention on Fanbase? What does that look like?
all right. That's why I had to raise my hand. Okay. Well, I'm one of the older ones. I'm 64 years old, and I actually had retired for a year, and I actually heard about Fanbase by Roland Martin. And when I heard about Fanbase and what the overall mission was, I said, okay, I got to register. And mhm. And not only, and see, this is the other thing. Not only do people have to register, they gotta get involved. You gotta spend some time, learn the platform. I spent probably about anywhere from 3 to 5 hours a day on Fanbase, but I enjoy it because I love these rooms that any subject out there, you can go find out about it or go chat. And I know there are some things about Fanbase that, like I don't like. But the thing is, if I don't like it, I don't have to get involved. I just, say, okay, that's not my cup of tea, but I can find enough people that's my cup of tea. And I knew that I had to come out of retirement and get involved because we're going to need to pull together to weather this. I don't know whether it's going to be 8 years or 10 years. It's definitely going to be more than 4 because whatever's done, you're going to have to counteract that. And then it's going to take time to counteract it. But then I said that, and I said to myself, if he can do it in 60 days, then we should be able to counteract it in 60 days. So just another thought. I love Fanbase. I'm posting. I've only been here 60 days, but I'm already posting. I think I posted about 118 different posts. I'm always interacting with other people's posts. And that is the one thing, like you said, that see, I'm a retired scientist. So I love numbers and that whole thing. I was looking at how many views you get, and then how many likes you get, and then how many loves. And I was starting to see a correlation. Okay. and this is what, and you can tell me whether I'm wrong because I've only been here 60 days. So, I'm just observing and getting involved as much as I can. Okay. It appears that if you put out a video on something, you definitely get more views. And I don't know why. That you'll get more views on a video versus just a single snapshot picture post. But what's also amazing to me when I look at the numbers is, even though that's the correlation I see with the views, but the likes and the loves, it doesn't make any difference when it comes to, and I can't figure that one out. But that's a little bit of my observation when it comes to, and I have to admit, I bought into this thing of Blind from Black. I've invested in Fanbase. I've invested in the crowdfunding co-op. I've invested in a venture capital app. When it comes to buying books, I've bought several people books. I'm trying to do everything that I can to actually, get totally involved in help a chart. But saying to myself, oh yeah, this is the thing that I don't know. Okay, how many users because like I'm saying, how do you get so few likes and loves if we have 600,000 or a million users? The math doesn't add up to me. Mhm. And that's all I have to say for right now. Oops, I didn't want to, did I say too much?
No, you good.
No, no.
No, you good.
I'm here, but just want to let you guys know we are streaming live, so it may be a minute before I can actually get to you guys. I do see Marshall that came up. Welcome, Marshall. And the title of the room, like you see, is why I created this space, because I actually want to know and get feedback from users. So, Miss Judy, I'm not going to give you any answers because I don't work for Fanbase. This is the disclosure. So those are definitely questions to be taken into consideration. And hopefully we compile all those questions, put them together and shake our phones, because support definitely wants you to give feedback. That's the whole importance about retention, right? If we're
Oh
not
yeah.
putting in questions anywhere, but we're speaking about those in other places, we're kind of not, we're defeating the purpose. So the goal is we're going to have to flood their tickets. We're going to have to give them the feedback they need so that we can stay on Fanbase, so people can come and not leave. That's the whole beauty of it.
Okay.
We can do that. So for
Okay.
you, Marshall, I saw you had the blue dot. I appreciate your feedback, Miss Judy. We're going to go to Marshall because he had the blue dot.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marshall.
Uh-huh. And then after
Yo, I
Marshall, I do
appreciate
want to make
that.
a comment.
Cool, I got you, Miss Judy. I'm going to keep this fairly brief. Good morning to the room. Thank you for having me here. I just wanted to kind of piggyback on what Miss Judy was saying. Full disclosure, I don't work for Fanbase. I do not have affiliates. I'm not paid for my opinion. So I just want to clarify and give context in terms of what you were talking about views on videos in comparison to the rest of the platform. So, as most of you know, I do a lot of AI artwork and I do a lot of AI videos. I also do a live stream it once a week. So, my content is literally in every vertical of the platform. Every vertical does not get the same attention on this platform, is what I've noticed. And again, this is just my opinion. I don't work for the platform. This is just my opinion based on trying a variety of different content types over the last 2.5, 3 years. Videos definitely get more attention. I think that they are just distributed in a different way slash rate. But I also will say, as a person who does a lot of still static image artwork, I get a lot of traction with my artwork as well. And I think it possibly has to do with the volume in which I'm posting and the fact that there's no algorithm. So I'm treating it like a unique, hybrid, different platform. I'm not expecting that it's going to be distributed the way that it is on Meta or YouTube or TikTok. And I'll just stick with those three. The way that the content is distributed on the platform algorithmically is not the same. Part of it has to do with the fact that there are no ads. Part of it has to do with if you're a newer creator and you don't have a lot of followers or you're not following a lot of people, you're then relying on the suggested, and I'm using air quotes here, the suggested content to reach new viewers. And so that means that you need a higher volume of content to go out and hit the feed to be suggested to those new content consumers on the back end. So I want to just give context in terms of, hey, yes, videos are just distributed differently. And I've also noticed that images are distributed differently. But if you're using this platform in the same volume and ferocity as you do Meta, TikTok, YouTube, I think you'll start to see more traction, more engagement, more interaction. But that has to be a collective effort as the content creator. And I'll yield there.
I agree. I agree with that.
Okay, Miss Judy, you said you wanted to go next.
Yes,
After.
thank you. I'm loving the conversation. I love conversation. That's why I love the platform. Now, the other thing that I wanted to comment on is my mom used to always say, do not criticize something if you don't have a solution for it. Shut your mouth until you have a solution. And so with that, I have interacted with, I probably like every 3 days, I shake my phone. And someone taught me that because I didn't know to shake my phone. But that's how getting involved helps. If you get into these rooms, people will tell you how to use the platform. And so every 3 days, I do send in suggestions. They probably, but I do, and they do respond. And so all of that is good because I want this to succeed. I want this to be here when we're not even here. It's leaving a legacy.
I agree with you. We can't keep complaining about things without finding a solution because I'm solution based too. And that's why I'm saying retention because when I don't know if you guys saw that Kevin O'Leary interview with Isaac, but Kevin asked Isaac, he said, what are some of the strategies that you're using to scale on Fanbase since you don't run ads? We're ad driven everywhere else. So what are you doing? And Isaac responded to saying retention. But I want to know what retention looks like. And so if you really want to retain the users and focus on the ones that are here, then you're going to listen to that feedback that's been coming out there when we shake our phone, right? That's what retention looks like. Retention looks like those tickets that we've been sending to you all of this time when it says suggested improvement, you're actually going through those tickets to see how many people are actually requesting certain things. Because I feel like if we're all saying the same thing, and there's a majority of us that are saying the same thing on a lot of different areas. So compile that information and then scale that way. That's what retention to me looks like. Go ahead, Marshall. You got the floor.
So that's part of it, Joyce, and I'm going to give a little pushback. So part of it is on the platform and their ability to scale, their ability to implement processes and procedures to address retention as an overall issue. The other part of that, if we're going to have an honest conversation, is on the users and their participation in the platform and their active use of the platform. So I'll use myself as an example. I don't want to single anyone out, but I personally am on the platform in a number of ways. So I'm posting images, I'm posting videos, I'm posting audio spaces. I don't go live as much quite yet, but I'm populating all of the areas of the platform and it's positive, constructive content. It's what I would want to see as a content consumer. So I'm both participating as a viewer and I'm participating as a content creator. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just I want to participate in this creator economy. So when you talk about retention and the perception is, hey, I'm going to come here as a new person and I'm going to import my content and flood the feed with new stuff to people here. Oh, but I only made $1.26, so it's not really worth it for me to be here. And then they stop posting content. That's the retention piece that we really need to address. Part of it is the responsibility of the platform, but part of it is our responsibility as content creators not to expect that your content is just going to go viral here. This is not, it doesn't function the same way algorithmically, so you have to treat it as such. And so that's not the responsibility of Fanbase. And again, this is my personal opinion, Lewis, not on behalf of my company, Martial Artistry. I don't work for the platform. I'm just giving perspective on what I see and what has worked for me as an AI artist who has had a lot of resistance over my time of posting this style of content. So it has just been my ability to continue to push through and trudge through that has helped me as a creator. And I'm probably get more authentic engagement here on this platform than I do any other one. But it's because I'm putting in the work to stimulate that engagement by going out not only in posting content and hoping that people will respond to it accordingly, but giving them value and not expecting anything in return. I'll yield there.
That's definitely the case. And see, two things can be true at the same time. And again, welcome everyone that's in the audience. This is the onboarding. Be You Without Limits. We are live streaming on YouTube, Meta, and X. Okay, so just to let you guys know, that's usually what I do when we get new users. And we do have a new user on the stage. General. Looks like General was referred by Silver Fox, right? He's referred some other people. To me, that's part of it. When we bring our fans, our friends, whoever we bring to Fanbase, that's to me is part of that retention because Isaac keeps saying it's always more fun with friends, and he's never lied about that. Usually, when I do things, when I go out, whatever, do we go by ourselves or do we bring people with us? So it's to me, I feel like it's the same on social media too. It's like you bring your friends with you, they bring their friends, and then here we got a whole community that we started. So I just feel like online is no difference. It's definitely more fun with friends for sure. So shout out to Silver Fox for getting it. He's brought new people. And there's another person on the stage, Veganish. I already like your name already. Welcome. Welcome to Fanbase.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Thank you for accepting the invite. I know some people be shy. Y'all can't be shy like me. I'm shy, y'all. I'm shy.
We're not even on camera. It's easy to speak. But this is what I want to say. I'm super excited about Fanbase. I invited my friends. I got my niece to come and I told her, I was like, we have to start posting every day because this is ours. We give all our time and energy and money building somebody else's dream. When Isaac looks like us, I heard him on EYL and I was convicted just listening to what he was saying. And it was right. We have somewhere else to go. Now, I'm new to this space and being a creator and creating. Do y'all have any information or videos or something I can look at to learn how to maximize what I would like to do?
I'm new to this channel and to this app as well. So I mean, I'm here for the same exact reason to get info and to learn how to use it and monetize, different things about it and basically create and be a fan as well.
So that's why
Okay.
I'm here. I've been doing onboarding for the last, I'll say a little over a year, because I knew that it's something missing about when people join Fanbase. When I came to Fanbase, I didn't really have anyone that could kind of guide me. We didn't even have tutorials. So if you look in the chat, I did put some tutorials in there. Anything that says fanbase.app is Fanbase links. We don't have a save option in the chat yet, but you can screenshot it to kind of help you as well. If you need one-on-one divided attention, I provide that too. I use a platform, a meeting platform called Go Brunch. Well, we will get into that later. But for now, those tutorials, they're short, they're quick, and they're outlined as to what areas. The first one is setting up your profile. That's the most important. And Isaac will say the very first thing, because there's a lot of different bots on all these social media, Fanbase is no different. So creating that profile, that bio, the link in your bio, all of those things to separate you from the bots. There are Bitcoin bots, they're everywhere. So you'll kind of see them in the social audio spaces as well on your posts. So whenever you see those, try to delete them as soon as possible. But that's kind of the nature of that. Fanbase is working on it. They're working on the tools to kind of prevent those things from happening. They are talking about moderation on Fanbase, which includes AI tools and resources to do that. They are a small team, of course, so it may seem like they're not answering concerns, but they're definitely addressing them as they come in. So veganish, you're in the right spot. There's another username. I love those that has an evening onboarding room, OSOC 12. He actually does that. He walks people through the app as well. Silver does his onboarding, his welcome new users. So fan ambassadors, there's a few of us on here. We all are here to help. So if you see anyone with a purple check, you just tap on their profile. They're actually getting prepared to get new fan ambassadors on here. So if you're a content creator for sure, because I feel like every fan ambassador should be a content creator, because that's the purpose of the app. It's about creating cool content, great content, and a variety of content that people can actually resonate towards. Because my content and my definition of good content may not be yours. That's the thing. So welcome Cooking the Wild. Like, her content is definitely my content. Okay. I'm just trying to say. Silverbox, of course, you know, your content's always dope. But I see the blue silver. Go ahead.
Now, what I was gonna add to, about the bots, especially new users. The thing about this app is that if when you post something, a lot of people's gonna, they're not gonna like hide your content or suppress you or anything. So your content's gonna go out to a lot of people. And the more this app grows, the more it's gonna grow. If you go live, they're gonna have where everybody on Fanbase is gonna get a notification that you're on live. So just remember that. So when the bots come, it's because you're pretty active. That's somebody like Marshall and us, we get a lot of bots, right? But because we're pretty much out there, and they see our content and they see how popular we are. So you really can't hide from, you can't hide yourself. If you hide yourself, then nobody's going to see you. So they're going to see you. So my thing is just ignore them. If they bother you, or just shake your phone, let fan base know, and they'll fix it. They'll get rid of it. But so that's the cool thing about this app, is that you can be you without limits, and people will see your. Don't worry about posting, because people say, "Well, how people gonna see my stuff?" I don't know if people see my stuff. And we was talking about videos. Videos work because it shows that you're not only a real person, but it shows your creativity, right? It shows that there's actually some moving things going on, live videos, flicks. But the thing that they don't like is people copying a post that they done got on another platform, some saying or something, and post it over here. Um, and it's he they don't like that, but you can do it and you can do whatever you want. But they love videos. They love moving visual. They like visual, right? And if you personal visual, like if you're on there, they really love that. So you'll get a lot of views. You'll get a lot of people seeing your stuff. So don't worry about that when you post. And no matter when you post, like I have 14,000 posts, and sometimes people go like stuff that I've seen that I've posted a long time ago. They'll just find it, and I'll be like, I don't know where they found it at, but they see it. So don't worry about people seeing your stuff. They're gonna see it, and they're gonna like it. They're gonna leave a comment, and they're gonna maybe leave you some love because they like the content. So just remember to put up your best. Forget the rest. Don't worry about nothing. Just put it up there, and I guarantee you're gonna be successful.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, I think that the original content being here on Fanbase is going to help retention. And that's my strategy has been putting the original content related to our Leadership Lounge show and teaching AI. The clips that I post here are specific to here. I'm now separating it so that Fanbase gets its own dedicated content that you can't find on any other platform. So you have to come here to watch it. So that will drive traffic. Also, if you're a creator that just got here, is dedicating some specific, unique content to Fanbase. That'll help the retention.
Okay, and thanks. Oh, I've written down three additional comments that I wanted to add. When I got on Fanbase, I was so excited. I sent emails and texts out to 100 family members, and I was telling them about Fanbase and how to join and how to invest and that whole thing. Really only got like 2% of people in the family that actually joined. But even those 2% that joined, they haven't gotten involved. And I kind of follow up and really, I'm hearing the very same thing. The first thing that they said to me is, I can't find you. When I do a search, I can't even find you to even like you, to be a friend. And then so what I did was I tried to find, I said, okay, so what's your name? And then they were a little, I have to admit, they were a little bit confused about, their name. I said, when you did your profile, and they said, oh, I haven't done it. Okay. All right. So then I walked them through how to do the profile. And it still took a while. So it must be a delay with the system as to when a person builds that profile, it's not automatically seen. It appears to be, I don't know, a 3 week to a month delay before now their names can pop up there and I can find them. But they were already there. So that's why you're not really getting people involved, because they don't know how to interact. So the first thing is they said they couldn't find me because I invited them. And then the other, when they do actually put that profile there, then they say, well, I don't know what else to do. And really, I even had thought about making a little mini um, video for my family to walk them through, just do a screenshot of like what I've done to do it, how you post, how do you do your profile, how do you post your first picture. And I have to admit, Marshall is helping me. I subscribe to him because I liked his content. It was absolutely off the chart. Is teaching me how to, because once I noticed that my pictures weren't getting enough traction, and I saw the correlation that videos were, I said, okay, I got to learn how to do that. But see, a lot of people may not be that aggressive as to how do you win. And then I also noticed and said to myself, I'm a business person and I came out of retirement. So I kind of said, look, I'm making anywhere from like, I don't know, 10 cents a day to 50 cents a day. That doesn't excite me. It, I apologize. In terms of love, it's nice and all, but just like what you said, you can't come over here and think you're going to make this grand money. But what I actually say to myself is, hey, I posted content for, I don't know, 10 years on of Facebook and never got one penny, and never even got taught how to get engaged to get a profit. They only wanted me to advertise. Okay. And then the last thing that I wanted to comment as to how we can improve is bulletin board. I would love if we had upcoming audio rooms for the following week. So then I can put on my schedule what rooms I would like to attend, what time. So then I can coordinate, okay, I can't go to this one. I'd like to go to this one, this one, and this one. And then I can carve it out of my time, where now I just got to walk through the room ever so often and find out what's what. If there was a bulletin board that said, hey, not unless it's already there. That's why I'm putting it out there. If it was a bulletin board to say, okay, this is what's coming up for the next week, I can plan out my week. So those are just 3 comments I'd like to make. How to improve.
You know what? How did you get onboarded? Let me ask, were you onboarded by, you said Marshall actually onboarded you, or who actually, did you go to an onboarding room?
No. See, really, I stumbled. I didn't go to the onboarding room until I think I had been here 2 to 3 weeks before. What I
Okay.
did to learn myself, because I'm maybe a little bit more aggressive, because I looked at it like any software. I'm used to, business and corporations. And I would tell people, when we get a new software package, you have to spend the time to learn the software. And so that's what I did. I just said, okay, I got to learn the software. I would carve out time to press this button, see what it does, press this button, see what it does. And that's how I learned. And I didn't know about onboarding until weeks later. I
So
heard about
that,
through Roland Martin.
yes, great. So that, my thing is what the reason why I created onboarding, because I saw there was a disconnect between when people actually join Fanbase and then where they go from there. Most of them are, like you just mentioned, there's some challenges. There is a little delay with new users
Yes.
setting up their profile. I kind of see that. Even when you change your names in these audio rooms, I've noticed that if you look in certain spaces, the names are still that old name that you changed it to. So that kind of tells me there's a little delay. And it makes sense because they're not fully connected on the web, and there's all these other cloud situations that you can experience. But nevertheless, I do recommend going to an onboarding room, asking questions, because what I found is a lot of people don't know the way the system is running. Even though, like me, I feel like I have a tech background, but I've had my brother who is a tech programmer, and he had problems with just like the understanding of Fanbase. So that, we have to give ourselves some grace, because even though we know about technology, we still are missing certain elements that are important on how we want to use that technology, if that makes sense. So there is, like, for learning the tools, there's a tutorial that has a lot of great, you know, topics. I put that in the chat all the time. It's the it's the learn fanbase, it's learn.fanbase.app. And that is in, that's General though, because sometimes General doesn't always work, because you may have other issues like troubleshooting the things that are supposed to work that don't. So just knowing the difference between what should work and what doesn't also can help you too. You had a question, Miss Judy?
Yes, I was listening, and I actually have a comment, and I think an easy fix.
Mm-hmm.
Because really that's what I spent my career doing, is finding out what the problem is, talking to people about the problem, and then coming up with a solution. Okay, from what I'm hearing, since the breakdown is on the, because we have probably 24 hours to impress the new user, or they're gone on to something else. We lost that person. Okay. We've done too much work and invested too much to lose that person, because this is the easy fix, but it has to come from Fanbase. You know that a new user just registered. Why don't you automatically send that new user 3 days of videos, the tutorials, automatically send it to them? That would solve the problem. instead of having to fumble, find a room. Oh, then I got to do a screenshot. But that's 2 weeks later. People, I'm old, so I have patience. Younger people, they don't have that kind of patience. And that's just my input.
Yeah. You know what? I know that I'm gonna tell you someone who does great onboarding rooms, and he doesn't even realize that's what he's doing, and maybe he does. But Lou Fax, so he'll have a room already open. He'll have the title, whatever he wants that title to be. And then he'll just start going to these other places where he says, hey, where he's known. Hey, you guys, I got a room. Let's onboard. Let's do this. Let's do that. And he gets them on there. But the only thing about it is once they get on, they usually leave after he leaves because he's onboarded them. So that's important to realize. Some people are comfortable with that one person that they want to onboard them. So I feel like if you, since you're pretty good with technology, you mentioned it, Miss Judy, have a room open already. So anyone that you're bringing over, actually walk them through to get them on, get to your room, join your camp, and then you can go from there. Now, they won't be able to join the camp if you open a regular room. But if you know they're coming on, y'all coordinate a time to get together and say, hey, I got 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and get you over here and we can go from there. But go ahead. I seen your dot and then Marshall.
Okay. People that know me, I'm very easygoing, but I'm also very direct about something that I like or I don't like. I don't like the suggestion that puts me to work. I don't have the time to I'm already generating my content and all. I don't have time to onboard someone. That's because I thought about the video. And my thing is, if the company doesn't think it's worth their time to make the videos available to that person, then that's on them. I'm not going to do it.
And that's understandable. You're welcome. Because I feel, you know what, to be honest, I feel the same way. That's why I love OSOC 12 onboarding, because he will take the time to do those things. So I think someone who has
It's in
that
his
niche.
wheelhouse. It's not in my wheelhouse.
Exactly. And you know, to be honest, I did tech support and all those things for about 20 years. So can you imagine somebody who's going to go back and do that again? I will give you the resources. I will give you the tools, but to hold your hand is something different. And that's just me. You know, that's just me. That doesn't mean that once I give you those tools, you give up. It means that you're going to have, like going back to what Marshall said, the user has to have some kind of accountability too, right? They do. You know, it depends how important you think this is. If it's not important to you and you don't value it, you're going to move on to the next. So you have to have the right intention when you get on these apps as well. And did you have something, Marshall?
I did, but I'm like, yo, you just cooked. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just leave that there. I will. I'll say that. Um, so I'll use AI as an example. So I I know a lot of people are not into it. It's just not their deal. It's not their speed. But hey, somebody has to still put content together to like teach it for when they're ready. So when they're ready, there's already a library for it. So I'm on the opposite side in fairness, where I'm like, hey, if there's a need, then we just need to fill it. Somebody has to. It can't just not get done. So if there's a need for a video, then hey, I'll participate and I'll be willing to donate some time to get the thing done that needs to be done. If you need AI images or video for B-roll, just let me know. Reach out. So whoever ends up doing it, just know you have one person on the platform that's willing to participate and help. I'll leave that there.
I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. So I'm not going to keep this segment too long because we are still live streaming. So I appreciate everyone that was bold enough to speak up about all of their concerns. Veganish, welcome you. General, I welcome you. I hope this helps. I hope something resonates within you so that you can be you without limits, right? So I yield, but if anyone else wants to chime in, you're welcome to. If anyone wants to come to the stage, you're welcome. I didn't really check the chat too much because I'm doing broadcasts. It's a little different. So if anybody wants to communicate in the chat, you're welcome. screenshot, anything that you want. I always drop tools off to help you. And no other questions? Do you want to shout out your rooms or your camps? That's amazing to do so. Anybody want to go?
I want
I
to
got
give a
you.
shout
I
out to
got you.
Silver Fox. I want to thank him for inviting me and introducing me to this platform. It seemed like it's gonna be something interesting, something that I can, enjoy and get to spread my music on. Because that's basically what I'm. It's therapeutic for me. So today is my first day on the app. I spent my first couple of hours on the app in this room with you guys. I've taken a lot of notes. I've actually learned a lot more than I expected. Everyone is, seems like great people. It's nice to meet everyone. So, yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to him and thank you, Miss Joyce. And yeah, that's it.
It's
I'm
received.
gonna
You're
piggyback.
welcome. Go ahead,
I'm gonna
Marshall.
piggyback and just say welcome to General. And at the top of your page currently, you should have some love in your account just already. Because I know I just sent you some love just for being here, and I'm going to do the same to veganism so that you guys have been welcomed to the platform. While I am not a ambassador, anytime you need help or you got a question about the platform, you can always reach out. If you see my content, you can drop a comment, ask a question. I'm here to be a resource. Also, I did drop my camp in the chat as well as when we hold our live show here on the platform. So you are more than welcome to come join. My name is Lewis Marshall. I am the AI and airbrush artist here at Marshall Artistry. We specialize in custom water bottles. And so here on the platform, you typically will see me talking about AI, how I do what I do, the tools that I use. So if you ever have any questions, I'm here to be a resource. If you need a space to come and vent, hang out, talk about whatever it is that you do, you're more than welcome to come to AI Anonymous. And I'll yield there. Welcome to Fanbase.
That was amazing. And anyone else want to go next? Cooking in the Wild. Um, you want to give us a little
Hey,
bit
yeah.
about?
I'm new here as well. I started in January. Hey, shout out to Marshall, Silver, everybody. Miss Judy, how's everyone doing? Hey, Joyce. Sack Black, everyone. My camps are every Wednesdays and Saturdays. The main one, Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. It's called Wilderness Off Grid for Black Women. So if you're interested in learning more on how to sustain your life outside of the money system, as we can clearly see what's going on in this nation and globally speaking, inflation just did a post about aluminum job workers losing or getting laid off. So if you need a backup plan and you want to become more knowledgeable and skilled and have a community to surround you with that for women, my space would be the one every Saturday. Yeah, so 3:30 p.m. Pacific, Wilderness Off Grid for Black Women. And then my Wednesday camp is called Making Connections, where we're just a little bit more laid back and chilled. That space is open to everyone. I call that my general population. So men are allowed in that one. And then as well, we're just discussing, anything from the economy to tech, like we were doing yesterday, social media, fan base, if you're an entrepreneur, business, small business, investing, cryptocurrency. So again, that space I considered my Wednesdays general population and a broader topic outside of the more sustainable off-grid wilderness type stuff, which is my Saturdays.
Okay, all right, and thanks. What I'd like to put a shout out about is every Monday and every Tuesday, what I do is an audio room, and it's called Chat with the Author, and it's my book that I wrote back in 2017, Seven Principles Turn Your Salary into Millions, and it's something that, in terms of financial principles, that I've been practicing since I was 8 years old. 18 and throughout my whole adult life. It's in my DNA. I do it daily. Every decision is knowing the numbers, working, looking at the math. Does it make sense? And I love teaching it. And that's really what I did for a living after retiring from being a scientist in the automotive industry and aluminum industry. And I love doing that. My way of giving back is doing the free audio rooms twice on Monday, twice on Tuesday, 3 o'clock p.m., 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go over 2 of the 5 principles, and then I tell people how to purchase my book, but it's ebook workbook. But it's really a series where you take a baseline test, so I know where you are. Then you read the book. It only takes 1 hour to 7 days to read it if you're just reading 3 pages a day. And then you take the test again. That gives me enough information. I call it the X-ray, that now I have enough information to know you so that when I do the complimentary private Zoom, that you will be able to ask the questions to help you get ahead, because reading the book is just part of it. Then you have to study it, then you have to implement it, and then you have to have a coach so you can master it. And so that's really my passion.
Miss Judy, what is the name of your camp? One more time, please.
Oops. It's called Chat with the Author. 7 principles turn your salary into millions. That's my audio. I haven't built an actual camp, but it's an audio room that I do, and this is my 7th week of doing it consistently, and then it shows that I used to only get 0 to maybe 3 people show up. This week, I had 25 people show up. So it's just a thing of being consistent. And most people are not going to do those kind of push-ups to see the results. They would have been long gone before 7 weeks. So this is part of our retention strategy. Mm-hmm.
I
And thanks for asking.
appreciate, oh yeah, I appreciate that. And I hope while you're getting those numbers together that you're doing some screenshots so you can capture it. It'll be a digital footprint for what you're doing. So I do hope that you're keeping track of your numbers.
Oh yeah, you got to
So
know your numbers.
exactly. Go ahead, Silver.
Yeah, so a lot of people already know who I am. Silver Fox Luxury, fashion brand, lifestyle products. Um, but one of the things I want to add is that when you in the audio rooms and you're, want to connect with someone, follow them, right? Check out their profile, and if you want to join their camp, you can click on their profile. Uh, Go to the profile, hit the campfire, and the first 3, if they have 3, you'll see the camp. Will say leader, and that's their camps, and you can follow them. That way, when they open up their camps, you can get notifications that the camp is open, and you can pop in, whenever you like. So that's a good way to gain followers and to connect with other people. Another way to gain followers is, use the search people that, use the hashtag, search people that you looking, music lovers, like for General Leak. If you're looking for music lovers, people that like listen to music, you can do that, and then search those people, and you can leave a comment where people can give you love for leaving comments on their page, or you can leave them a heart or something, like a couple of hearts. You can leave them a couple of hearts just to get their attention, and they'll say, who gave me a heart? They'll get a notification that General Leak gave me a heart, and or gave me 2 hearts, and then they'll go see who you are, and you can gain the followers that way. So just find cool ways to use the app, tap in to people like us to for whatever reason. I'm still waiting on Miss Judy, to tap in. I know we've been missing each other, but whenever I have a room, just come in hang out, and I definitely can help you guys maneuver through the app.
Okay, and I have been listening to your watch parties late at night. So yeah, I have been, and I've been sending you some loves too.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Oh, looks like we got some new people on the stage. This may make our room longer, and I'm good with that. So I saw you, Sean, in the audience. I appreciate you for joining onboarding. Hasib, I appreciate you for coming up to the stage. Bookkeeping, I appreciate you guys when y'all actually have a voice, because I want y'all to have a voice. I want to hear it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we all feel the same way about what's going to keep us on this app. You know what I mean? So if any of you guys want to come off, introduce yourselves, or whatever you want to shout out, market, whatever your intentions are for Fanbase, I'm all ears. I'm listening.
Yes, thanks for inviting me up to the stage. Of course, my name is Sean. I love Fanbase. I've met some amazing people here, and also an investor as well. I really do believe in the platform. I've learned a lot from Isaac Hayes III with social media marketing. I'm a big fan of that as well. I'm a YouTuber, content creator, and I also have my own coaching business. For those who divorced and they are afraid of love again, and I help them in that process because there's a lot of people who desire to remarry, but just afraid to say it publicly. So I help people in that process and to help them to find themselves again after divorce. Thanks for inviting me up. My website is scarytoremarry.com. You can also find me on YouTube at Scary to Remarry. Thanks for inviting me up, and I'm finished.
Oh yeah, I do remember you, Sean. You was in a room and I was like, that title resonated because I ain't gonna lie, Scary to Remarry. What about Scary to Marry? I think I had asked you that. I was like, let's get remarried. Let's be scary to marry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm listening to my friends. They giving me horror stories. I'm like, okay, I don't want to change the room to that topic, but yeah, I'm looking for your room. I'm definitely wanting to support you because it's very, very interesting and it's a hot topic, especially like with polygamy. I'm just gonna say it, right? Polygamy has made it even harder for us to like. I'll never forget the time when swingers asked me to participate, and I'm not gonna say anything else, but I'm just saying it's so much out here, y'all. Yeah. So anyway, anybody else want to come off the mic and talk about?
Joyce, that is an exclusive room. Nah, you can't just do that. You can't just do that. Nah, 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 nah. That's an exclusive room. That's an exclusive room, Joyce. You're gonna have to ping me. I'll pay. I'll pay to come in to hear that story. That's good storytelling right there. That's good exclusive fan base storytelling.
Man, let me tell you. Nobody have any other questions? Anybody else want to come up?
I
I
have a
do.
question.
Sure, go ahead.
Since you said that, how do we know? Like, I'm a person who has a lot of diverse knowledge. How do we know what kind of information there is an opportunity or a hole in what's needed? Because like I'm vegan and my channel is veganish, but I also am a mental health therapist. I also own a company named Bay Street Botanicals where we make natural and organic products for your body, skin, and hair. So I have a lot of diverse knowledge, and I probably could do 10 fan base pages. But is there a way to find out where there's some holes in the market or where there's some opportunities, where there's some things we really need on fan base that we don't already have?
That's a good question. And I can give you a 2-year perspective because let me tell you, I was on Facebook and I had multiple pages because I had so many different things going on. But when Meta tried to, give me so many different, what is they call Facebook jail or whatever, and then they finally banned my pages. So that told me that he didn't want my content. So that's cool. So I've been here ever since, but I have 2 profiles because as an author, tech support, publisher, onboarding specialist, fan back, all these different hats that I wear. I kind of tested out to see what resonates. So for Fanbase, I noticed that we were missing an onboarding room. So of course it kind of made it easier for me to say, hey, this is what we need, onboarding. That's the missing link. And there, as you start to be on this app, you can see what people are doing. And the dynamic search kind of gives you that walkthrough on what people are doing. You can look at their views and see, okay, they're getting a lot of views for doing this. So I know some people that really study the app. So if if that's your lane and you love to study the app, which I always study anything I use, I even want to know who the founder is. That's just me. Then that's the start. Then with all your different talents, I would say just pick and choose one, and you open an audio room, do it for 2 weeks or a month and say, hey, I really gained traction. Just like Miss Judy said, she already did the math on her room. So I think the test is going to be you and the people that resonate by going to your room and just whatever you have to offer. So I hope
When
that helps.
you say open an audio room, is that the same as going live?
This is an audio room. Going live is a video live. Fanbase has that video live also. So there's an audio room that people sometimes call live. This is what you're in now. And then they have the audio, or they have the live, like if you went to live on YouTube or TikTok, and a video live.
Okay. So if I did an audio room, like if I said, we're going to talk about how toxins in our food affect our mental health, and just opened up an audio room, people would come and we could just have a conversation about what the topic is.
Now, what I would say is that's a great start. But since I've been here, I use other tools to kind of make it like an event, right? So if like for instance, Sag Black, he has an event that's actually tonight, but what he did was he created this link for the event, like a Flex or post, and he shared his post to everyone. So now they're looking forward to that event. So even doing things like that will set people's expectation for what you're doing. And then videos always help. People watch videos all the time. So if you do a little infomercial, whatever you want to do about your room, that would help. And just post it on your
So basically driving business, for instance, like if I were doing that every Friday at 5, I would on Monday have a post about it, on Tuesday say a little more, on Thursday have a video, on Friday, driving momentum, perhaps.
Yeah. And take a look at your views. And I even engage with the people that actually like. If you liked something on my page or made a comment, I may be in your DMs to say, hey, what are you looking for in this video? What are you, get some feedback from them on what they want to see. And that's a good way to get subscribers too. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Well, this ends the Onboarding Be You Without Limits live stream. And I appreciate you guys for being here. We still have about 30 more minutes. If y'all want to engage and talk while I just go ahead and shut down this broadcast, I did put the link in the chat to my YouTube channel that I've been doing for a minute now. So if you want to go ahead and join you'll see every time I go live on Fanbase. So I'm gonna mute while I get busy.
Well, it was nice to meet everyone. I'll go ahead on and exit the room. I want to get more comfortable with the app. I want to learn how to use it. But it was nice meeting everyone. And